Hi, Bother Brigade. Here's what's bothering me today. There was a story recently that, given everything that's been happening in Ottawa recently, kind of went under the radar, but I think it absolutely needs to be far bigger news. The news in question is about a conservative senator from Nova Scotia named Michael MacDonald. And he was filmed by a protester back when, the convoy was still in downtown. He was being filmed and decided to offer some interesting remarks about his wife and the occupation and, of course, the people of Ottawa. Now, his remarks are rather unsavory, and unfortunately the video doesn't really say, it doesn't show very clearly what it is, so we're just going to quote what was said in the video. And by the way, please keep in mind, right, that senators in Canada are unelected, and the Senate last year sat for a measly 47 days. A conservative senator from Nova Scotia was seen on a video deriding the response of people who live in Ottawa to recent protests, saying he's sick of their entitlement and six-figure salaries and 20-hour work weeks. In the video recorded near Parliament Hill, Senator Michael MacDonald expressed support for the protesters who occupied Ottawa for more than 3 weeks. It's a cross-section of Canadians who have said we have had enough of the bullying and the duplicity and the lies, he said. In the video, MacDonald said he wanted protesters to leave Windsor, Ontario and other places they are interfering with transportation, but in Ottawa, I don't want them to leave, he added. He mocked the response of Ottawa residents to the protest, saying, "Oh, I hear this all the time. They're in our city. It's everybody's fucking city. This is the capital of the country. It's not your goddamn city just because you have a six-figure salary and you work 20 hours a week," he says. MacDonald thanked the person recording for having the courage and decency to come to Ottawa. MacDonald also described his own wife as a Karen because she wanted the protesters to leave. Seems like a real stand-up guy. By the way, he's a senator and paid a base salary of $160,000, can serve until the age of 75, is unelected again, by the way, and just openly said this terrible shit about his wife and the people of Ottawa. Now, he has since apologized because guess what? He initially was, drinking after, a lovely dinner, no doubt at a very expensive place none of us could ever hope to eat at. And he had apparently been drinking. And so he came across this person who was recording and he asked this person not to record. And so now that it made the news, now he's sorry. And I'm going to come back to this point, but basically he said a kind of follow-up when he was apologizing in the Senate the other day. I would like to take this moment, my earliest opportunity in this chamber, to address the comments that I made last week, MacDonald said. I left the impression that I agreed with trucks being illegally parked in the downtown and made some mangled remarks about the sentiments of people in Ottawa regarding the protest. I first want to apologize to the people of Ottawa for my clumsy language. It was not my intention to disparage anyone. And there's actually, more to it. It's just him being like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. My wife is the rock of my family and I need to do better moving forward." So here's the thing, right? This dude isn't actually fucking sorry. He's only apologizing because he got caught. He's talking, right? Let's be absolutely clear here, right? While the dude was drinking, which, point of order, when people are drunk, they kind of tend to show you who they are and they drop their inhibitions. So if someone becomes more violent when they're drunk, if they become more confrontational, racist, that's probably really them. Where if someone gets more drunk and they're just kind of fun or giggly or they do stupid things, like harmless things but stupid things, then that's kind of like, oh, okay, that's just, them and who they are. People show you who they are when they're drunk because they aren't in control of the mask. And even then, right, clearly the dude hadn't been drinking too much because one of the first things he said was, "Hey, please don't record me." So he has some kind of awareness, right? And that what he was going to say wouldn't have sat well with the people of Ottawa, let alone Canada writ large, if those words got out. So with those two things, I want people to keep in mind, right? He then goes into that massive rant, just so vile, and speaks to his immense privilege and detachment from reality, right? And so he's not actually sorry. He's sorry he got caught. And, he's talking about, oh, I made some clumsy remarks about the people of Ottawa. You were very clear about your fucking remarks to the people of Ottawa. And, yeah, sure, Ottawa is technically Canada's city, if you want to call it that. But it's still a city full of local people who were clearly impacted by the Chucklefucks and the Flu Trucks clan. And it's a weird-ass form of projection, right? Where he's complaining about people not working full weeks and collecting six-figure salaries. Bro, that's literally you and the rest of the unelected Senate. And that's the other crucial part to all this that seems to have just kind of been swept under the rug, not picked up because I guess it's not, newsworthy enough right now. But this man is a sitting senator. He is in the highest echelons of power. It is considered the chamber of sober second thought to the actually elected House of Commons. The Senate is supposed to kind of revise or tweak any legislation to make it more perfect, in other words. And yet here's this man talking about lies and duplicity, which are just not actually true, while also calling his wife a Karen and disparaging the locals of the city he collects a massive fucking paycheck in. He's allowed to serve until the age of 75. So here is this legitimately vile, spoiled brat of a man, completely detached and divorced from reality, and he's in one of the highest positions of power. Who put him there? Someone in another high position of power. It's why the Canadian Senate is absolutely bullshit. It's why it either needs to be completely reformed to the point of it being elected, or it needs to be completely dismantled, like absolutely done away with. To the dustbin of history it goes. Because people like this are sitting and collecting massive taxpayer checks while deriding the very people whose city that they occupy and work in and who help generate the income that they so lazily collect off of 47 days of work a year. So all these different things combined together, right? It is such a terrible and disturbing thing to see, right? Not only how he openly speaks about his wife and how he has enough sense to say, oh, please don't record me because I'm going to say some really terrible shit right now. And then he's also basically projecting about locals and, he's tired of them and tired of the duplicity and the lies. The dude is clearly out to lunch, and yet he collects a massive check in this city that he so gleefully derided. And he did so knowing that, he would hopefully get away with it, that it wasn't being recorded. But guess what? It was being recorded. And so now he's very apologetic. And all those things are definitely troublesome and worrying. But the fact that this guy is a senator on top of that, in a high position of power, should be not only damning enough to get him fired from the Senate, but it's very difficult to fire a senator. And so the fact that this man is in a position of power and privilege, and no one elected to put this jackass there while he denigrates the people of Ottawa who have been traumatized by the convoy, and he has the audacity to still show his face and collect a paycheck. That is what's bothering me today.